All right, what's up everybody? It's Ethan here, coming to you from the trailhead for Old Rag Mountain in a separated part of Shenandoah National Park here in Virginia. So this section of the park, it's kind of separate from, it's not like it's its own area. So it's got its own, like, parking, its own separate entrance, all that stuff. And it does require a day use fee from, I think it's between March to November. So if you come here between March to November, just so you know, you're probably gonna have to get a day use ticket. From what I heard, they don't even sell them here. You have to get them online, and it's like an extra, I think, $5. So, and it books out like days in advance. It looked like, as you could see, at that parking lot, there were not very many people, but that's because that was the overflow lot. There's actually a main parking and 2 overflow lots. So, with those kind of numbers, you can tell that this trail gets really crowded. And that's, I think, why they implemented the day use fee, is so they could control the number of people that hike this trail per day. But I'm actually going to be going, so there's a loop that you can do. A lot of people do the out and back hike. Some people do the loop. I'm going to do the loop for Old Rag Mountain. This is one of the most difficult hikes in Shenandoah National Park, probably the most difficult, actually. And the summit peaks out at 3,200 feet, a little over 3,200. So not very high in elevation. I mean, even compared to other peaks in Shenandoah, there's peaks that go over 4,000 here. But it is about a 9.5 mile loop with about 2,500 feet of elevation gain. And there is a long class 3 scrambling section near the summit. The way that I'm going, though, I will actually not be encountering that scrambling section until going down. And that's just because everybody hikes the loop in that direction. And so there's just like endless crowds going up the trail that way. And then coming up the other side, which I'll get to in a minute at the end of this little road, nobody's going this way. So that sounds a little better to me. All right, just hiked up that road, and this used to be the trailhead for Old Rag Mountain way back in the day, back when it wasn't an insanely popular hike. But now it is closed. I mean, you can still walk here, but you definitely can't park up here anymore. That way you can start the loop going the way everybody goes, but I'll be going this way. Lots of creek crossings. Most of them have bridges, but a couple don't. And that sun's coming out. It was a foggy, cloudy morning, but it's starting to look nicer. Little salamander on the trail here. Pretty cool. Just chilling. Yeah, so far I've only seen one other person going this way. I know that eventually I'm gonna run into those hordes of people, because a lot of them are hiking up the ridge trail and coming down the fire road that I'm on. Because like I said, that's how the majority of people hike Old Rag. So I know I'll run into them eventually, but I am hoping that I at least get, you know, the first couple hours of the hike mostly to myself before encountering all those people coming down. All right, well, you can actually kind of see Old Rag from down here. That's the ridge. And you can see the spiny rocks. That's where the scrambling is. And then right there, oops, sorry, that's a bad, right there, that's the summit. So quite a long way to go, just starting. That creek down there is raging, really nice, really pleasant sound to be walking by. I'll tell you one thing, living out west for so many years, one thing I missed about the East Coast is how green it is. I mean, holy shit. The Appalachian Mountains are just, I mean, they are very green. I'll say that. Get some very beautiful colors here. And pretty much, I mean, in the winter, you know, depending on where you are, get some snow and some beautiful scenery that way. And then in the spring, you have all the, you know, the flowering of the trees and the ground flowers. And then that turns into, you know, this lush green forest all through the summer. And then of course the fall is incredible. Speaking of fall, a little mini waterfall there. But yeah, I don't know if I've actually like officially said this yet in one of my videos, but if I haven't, I'll just say it now. I am officially back on the East Coast for good. I moved to West Virginia, so it just you know, for work, to be closer to friends and family, just seemed like the right move all around. And I definitely do miss living out west. I miss the really big mountain, the Rockies, and you know, the deserts and everything out there. But the more I hike out here, the more I'm really realizing that I, you know, took a lot of this stuff for granted when I lived here, you know, when I grew up here. And it's actually really incredible. Even though it's been all in the woods with no views so far, it's been a beautiful hike already. There's another good view of Old Rag Mountain. Still got a ways to go, but I am gaining steady elevation now. It's going to get much steeper once we get off the fire road, which will be a little bit further ahead. All right, at another major trail junction here. So this is, well, first major trail junction, I guess. So that's the way I came from, called the Weekly Hollow Fire Road, and take you back down to that old trailhead and then the overflow lots and all that stuff. And you can see there's another fire road that this intersects with here. Some porta potties if you need to take a dump. And then there's the trail right here, and I believe this is my trail. I'll double check with the map, but there you go. So we've hiked 2.5 miles so far, I suppose, which means we have about 2 miles left to get to the summit. So, and once again, it is warning you that this is, or at least we are entering, a day use fee area. All right, coming up to the first of 2 camping shelters on this trail. That's the Old Rag shelter right there. There's another one up ahead. I think it's called Bird's Nest Shelter. But yeah, the trail has definitely gotten steeper. It's not like horrendous, but yeah, it's definitely gotten steeper. And I'm above 2,000 feet in elevation, which means got probably about 1,100 feet of elevation left to get to the summit. Only problem is that it's about 1.6, 1.7 miles from here. So that 1,100 feet is going to be over a pretty short amount of mileage. So it's definitely going to just keep getting steeper because now we're on the ridge. So the more we hike up the ridge, the steeper it's going to get. And I think there's like one false summit on the way, one or two. But man, it's beautiful out here. It turned out to be a really beautiful day. On the ridge, getting some views of the other ridge line for the main one that Skyline Drive is on for Shenandoah National Park. And I can't wait to see these views once we clear the trees. It's going to be incredible. I can already tell. And the trail is definitely getting pretty steep now. There's the summit up there. Wicked looking upper ridgeline when I get peeks of it through the trees. I was looking at the topo map back down there, and I was like, man, this is about to get tough. And it has. I'm on a teeny tiny little flat spot now, but it's gotten quite steep. Starting to gain elevation very quickly. Which, of course, I knew had to happen at some point. Wow. First really good viewpoint here on the trail. That's incredible. This is looking over to the rest of Shenandoah National Park. Skyline Drive is somewhere off in that direction over there on top of the ridge. That's incredible. And you can actually see where, you know, the trees are green and then it turns into a more brown color where the, you know, it's high enough in elevation that spring hasn't quite hit those mountaintops yet. Man, this is really cool. All right, well, I'm passing the, that's the bird's nest shelter at about 2,900 feet. So I am less than 400 feet off the summit right now. There's definitely quite steep going up to that shelter. Looking at the map, it looks like it's gonna mellow out a tiny bit for a minute here and then get really steep again for the final push up to the summit. And like I said, I think there might be one false summit on the way. All right, well, I'm on the upper part of the ridge now, over 3,000 feet. Got about 200 feet of elevation gain left to get up to the summit. Really excited to check out that view. And I'm definitely starting to see a lot more hikers now coming down this way. Very steep, very rocky. Another awesome view up here on the upper part of the ridge. I am really close to the summit right now. It is like, I don't think that's it, but it's like right behind that. And it's only like a few feet higher than that. So I'm super close. Beautiful views here at the summit of Old Rag Mountain. 3,274 feet, or Well, that sign actually said 3,292 feet. So who knows? There, that is all the ridgeline for Shenandoah National Park. Skyline Drive over there. I believe that is Hawksbill Mountain, which is the tallest mountain in the park, about 4,200 feet. Beautiful. Wow. I mean, this is incredible. You almost get a 360 view. Maybe if I can find a way on that rock over there, that would be a 360. So I'm gonna give that a try. But yeah, this is awesome. Some low cloud cover over there. It's just beautiful up here and much cooler than it was down at the trailhead. This is really incredible. So I'm actually going to be hiking down that way. That's the ridge trail, and you can see where all the rock outcroppings are. That's where the scrambling parts are. So get to hike that from a different perspective than most people, I guess, going down. And I will say, hiking the loop that other way around really did help avoid a lot of the crowds until I got pretty much within, like, I'd say like a mile of the summit. There were very few people. So I definitely recommend going that way. There's still a good amount of people up here, but it's not as crowded as I thought it would be. And it only took me 2 hours to get up here, which I'm really happy about. I swear I thought it was going to take at least 3. So the fact that it only took 2 hours, I'm definitely happy with myself, because I am kind of, I can't give away the secret, but I am kind of prospectively, you know, training for some more difficult hikes coming up in the not so distant future. So yeah, I feel like I'm at a good starting point here, being able to get up to the summit of Old Rag in pretty much exactly 2 hours. So I'm gonna start heading down here in a minute, but yeah, this is awesome. All right, heading back down. Just went through some scrambling sections there. I think there's probably some more up here, but so far really hasn't been bad. Easy class 3. It's definitely a challenging hike, but I mean, I'll see at the end. But so far, if you're worried about the scrambling, don't be. It's not bad at all. So more scrambling sections. Once again, easy class 3, hardly any, pretty much no exposure. I think there might be, it looks like there's a little bit more up here, but like I said, so far, don't let the scrambling stop you from hiking this trail. I mean, it's really just the, you know, mileage and elevation gain that make this trail difficult. The scrambling does add to the difficulty, but it shouldn't, like, you know, I guess scare you out of doing it because you think you're gonna, like, plummet off a cliff to your death or something. That is certainly not going to happen. unless you, I don't know, throw yourself off one. Another little view here on the other side of the trail. Come down a good amount already. Still got a ways to go though, obviously. But some lower lying areas. You can see there's some farmland and stuff down there. So that's down kind of more in a valley. And then you can see some more mountains off in the distance. That is not part of the national park. That's a different part of the Blue Ridge Mountains over there. But yeah, this is, you know, really beautiful. Coming down to another little spot of interest here. Pretty cool. Probably gonna need both of my hands. This looks like the crux down here. I've seen pictures of this spot. At least it's nice and sheltered though. The rest of it ain't really bad. But I'll report back once I get down that spot. All right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It's tough, but no exposure, so. So you can kind of see that section I just climbed down. Definitely a lot of good scrambling, but like I said, very little exposure. It looks like there's a little knife's edge or something up here, but that's a relative term. Very beautiful. That's a better view of it. Going that way. Oh man, I think it goes through there. I'm gonna have to take my backpack off for this. That's actually a really tight squeeze. Damn. It's like reminds me of a slot canyon. But back when I did those, I was a little skinnier. Alright, so this actually wasn't as bad as I thought. It's actually pretty fun. It's like, you know, a nice little cool climb, and if it's a hot day you can definitely cool down in here, but you actually just come through there and then right out here. You don't have to go through this really narrow spot right here, so it's not bad. But yeah, this is a really cool trail, and I'm honestly really glad I decided to go down this direction, because God, there's still so many people coming up this trail right now. And I mean, I have to hike, you know, against the conga line, but in my opinion it's worse hiking with the conga line. You can see another ridge right there that I'll be heading to. Might be the last place I get really good views on this trail, we'll see. More scrambling to get up onto the ridge. And then let's see what that ridge looks like. All right, so just climb through here. Everything's very clearly marked. What I'll say, a lot of the scrambling sections, it's more like a slot canyon than it is like a mountain. Lots of scrambling, but not very exposed. Okay, well, I think I finally made it through that conga line of people. That's crazy. But I haven't seen another hiker really since I got down from the scrambling sections. And I think that's it. I don't think there's really much any more class 3 stuff on the trail, so it should just be a rocky downhill hike back to the start of the loop. But yeah, that was really fun. Going down or up is really fun, but it did feel nice to be going against the conga line of people and not with them, because, you know, when you're going against traffic, you can kind of maneuver through them quicker, and a lot of people will let you, you know, go past them because they want to be taking a rest, or they're looking up at the next scrambling section and freaking out about it. So just better to go this way, in my opinion. All right, so I'm at this trail split here. This is the way that I'm going to be going back to that old trailhead and the other side of the loop where I started, and this trail right here will take you back to the main trailhead. Either way, they're both, I think it's about half a mile to get to the main trailhead from here, and then it's about 0.4 miles to get to the old trailhead from here, and then probably about another quarter of a mile after that to get back to the like secondary overflow parking lot that I parked at. So not too much longer. And man, I've enjoyed this whole hike, but I love the fact that I did the loop in this direction, because the scrambling section is the only place, and the summit itself, but even that wasn't that bad. But those are the only places where I ran into, like, you know, larger crowds of people. Other than that, it's been like, you know, one person, or, you know, like one group of people or whatever every once in a blue moon, you know, every once in a while, and the rest of the time just me. Okay, well, as you can see, I'm back on the road doing the short little road walk back to the trailhead. There's a car behind me, so let me get out of their way real quick. And there they go. Okay, so yeah, overall, really awesome hike. Definitely a beautiful trail, really beautiful day today. The views all along, like lots of parts of the trail, and of course on the summit were like spectacular. So yeah, that was really cool, and honestly, I'd love to come back here and do it again. Lots of people, but if you hike the loop in the direction that I did, it definitely negates a lot of the you know, crowds you encounter. I really hit all the crowds just in a couple of small sections, and then, you know, and I wasn't like hiking with the crowds the entire time like you would be if you went up the ridge trail first. So definitely recommend that, but you know, do whatever you want. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. There was a guy collecting day use permits back there, just in case you think that they're not strict about that. Apparently they are pretty strict about that. So you know, just make sure you have your day use permit, I suppose, when you come out here, because they did have people at the main trailhead, you know, checking for them when people were starting to hike. And then on the other side of the loop here, where most people finish, they have a park ranger sitting up there. I don't know if they like collect them or if he just wants to see them, but either way, you need them. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll come back with you soon for some more awesome hiking adventures.